members of class 1967 together with a member of the family to receive the certificate for the graduate, and then the son or the daughter or the grandchildren will hand it over to the member of the class. Okay, so we request you to come on stage as the name of the graduate is called. Alexander Abea.
May I request Mr. Arnold Buding and Mr. Roy Salvador to come forward? Class 67, we are humbly donating a small amount, I know it's a small amount, of 100,000 for the endowment fund of Easter College. We wish to express our supporters in our fundraising. Without them, we couldn't have raised this much. It was through the support of all of this through our class that we were able to come up with this amount. This is not only the end, as what Cornelia said. We will still be supporting especially our initial project, which is the perimeter fencing. Don't you worry, this one goes to the endowment fund, and we will try our very best to raise more for the perimeter fencing. So again, in behalf of Class 67, we give this 100,000 to Mr. College.
Here that there will be another 50,000 additional.
Yes!
Can you confirm that? I just heard it. Okay, confirm. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, class of 1967. So once again, let's give them a round of applause. So we hope and pray that you continue to live longer so that you can continue your support for our alma mater. And of course, I hope also and pray that this will also serve an inspiration for our students and for our future graduates. That wherever you will go, never, never forget to look back to where you studied or finished your secondary education. So once again, thank you, sirs, moms. May God bless you more and more. So we may now have our dear President is here for the acknowledgement and his inspirational message.
I will not say thank you because that is just the beginning. I will just acknowledge your donation for on behalf of the school. Let me read to you a message that I got from my wife. I am class 72, but St. Mary's. So in 2022, we will be having also our 50th. Where's that? Never made it through. We realize it's not because we were wise, but because God has been good to us. Not because we have been powerful, but because God has made it possible. Have a beautiful Easter day, my loving husband. I Nagkabudi ko ba kuya? So, to the graduates of 1967, when we look back and wonder how we ever made it through, we realize it's not because we were wise, but because God has been good to each and every one of us for the past 50 years. Not because we've been powerful, but because God has made it possible. A very good message. As Cornelia has mentioned a while ago, this is not only for this year, but we hope to make it as a continuing program. So batch 1968, Manang Carol, look for your valedictory address in your bowl, because next year you will be here in front. Please call also your salutatorian so that he will look for the class prophecy, and let's see where you are and where you were supposed to be. I remember Edmund wrote something about class prophecies that was 3 months ago. I don't know where I read that, but I read it. Mention was made by Engineer Bugnosan a while ago when he said that looks like Easter School has shrunk. That is what is good in shrinking. Because after we shrink, we rise like the dough. And that's precisely what our theme is. Class 1967, you pursued, that's past, you pursued excellence. You increased in the knowledge of God. The present crop of students, they are now in the process of pursuing, and they are in the process of increasing their knowledge of God. The worst thing that can happen to a person is when he is down and he wants to stay down. The worst thing that can happen to an institution is when it is shrinking and it remains shrunk. But I thank you very much for class 1967. You have a president who prepared the way for me and for each of these faculty members who are here. We are all supportive of what you have started, and we thank you for that. It made our work easier. You set the foundation for us to continue increasing and pursuing what you have started. You mentioned about Cornelia, you mentioned about projects. I don't know why I am so obsessed about our special education department. When I started as the president here, it was the first thing that I had in mind. It is strong, but I wanted to strengthen it. The ministry of the church says, let us minister to the oppressed, the poor, the widows, and the orphans. I never heard of any ministry to those in the periphery, those especially special gifted children. If we minister to the oppressed, they soon will become the oppressors. If we minister to the poor, later on they will become the rich. If we minister and concentrate on the widows, they will be married sometime. And when we can consistently continue on ministering to the orphans, someday they will be adopted and there will be no ministry for each and every one of us. But for the deaf, for the blind, for those special people, like our children here, there are 106 of them. Am I right? Do you think? It will take a long time. It will take a very, very special ministry for each and every one of us to make them part of God's vineyard. These special children are also God's special children. So we have now launched the Sped Acceleration Fund, where we have targeted 1 million just for them. And we are now nearing the target. But still, we have to campaign for more assistance, not only in terms of finances, but in many areas of endeavor that needs also our concern. This afternoon, we will be opening the TAM Bureau. But do not look at the prices. That should not be a reason for each and every one of us to buy the ticket, because that is too cheap. What should be in our heart is that for every peso you drop, for every ticket you bought, you put a part of yourself to these special children. It's not for me, it's not for the faculty, it's not for the parents, but it is for our children. That is, I promise myself, for the next 5 years that I will be here, that would be my ministry. Second, the next 5 years, look at your building. Have you been there? Edmond was there a while ago, looking at the gutter. Have you seen that old elementary school, which was your dormitory? When you go second floor, you will be moonwalking, right? That is made of old wood. We hope that that would be gone when you next come to your 50 years. Remove 45 years. In fact, that's our dream. In 5 years' time, we'd like to have that changed. Although the design would still be possible. Winston will always be my partner in terms of that. And already we started with a building fund for that. Class 1974 already opened an account for that building fund. Is it proper if I say that your 100 will go to that? To jumpstart a building? I was also encouraging some of the alumni here that if each alumnus from elementary to high school to college will just give 100 pesos a month, how many hundreds and how many thousands of Easter graduates? If each and every one of us will give 100 pesos a month, we will build that elementary, we will change the building in 3 years' time. I have my own mathematics, although Mr. Dizon gave me the highest grade in Spanish. My lowest grade in high school for Kaasi is math, Mr. Mapili. So that will be where our next project will. But that over in the SPEC is a continuing thing. But that will be a very big one. The third that we are concentrating on now, which we hope to be done in 2 years' time, that's just a target, but it's better to have a target according to engineer than having no target at all, right? Even if you cannot finish your target, at least you started by coming up with a target that will guide you for the next 2 years. And so we plan to build a K-12, K-11 building over here. Empty space. So the more we will shrink the school. But again, in shrinking, we will be expanding. And in falling down, we will be rising up. These are our 3 main concerns as far as programs and infrastructure is concerned for the next 3 years. So without much ado, I'm calling on all of us who love Easter School, Easter College now, to do our part. Your coming here, as others say, is not a gaya-gaya of St. Mary's. Your coming here is a very, very strong factor in uniting us, in moving us forward, because at last, 1967 came to visit their alma mater. Kanang sa gara, gawis upay kasimnan sumaan. Gawis upay kasimnan sumaan. Although, I'm sure that most of you, titawag yun dyan, way back in 1950s, you had been sharing your life, sharing your school days, experiences, and all of that. But that should not just be sharing of experiences. Let's propel those experiences to give us and to boost us in our moving forward to the second lesson that we learned from the talk of Engineer Bugnosa. Come up with a strategy. The lessons that you have given to us will definitely give us a lesson or a reason to come up with targets. And so with each and every one of us, we will all accomplish. It's good to dream, right? What is not good is when you do not wake up. Let us all dream together. Let us all dream that Easter College will rise above its level to continue pursuing excellence. Excellence, I think that is superlative. Nothing beats excellence, and nothing beats knowledge of God. So, once more, I will not say thank you to each and every one of us who made it possible for our coming together, but let us acknowledge the gift. It is not a donation. It is a gift because it came from their heart. If it is a donation, there are still hard feelings, but I'm sure that this class of 1967, with all their hearts, gave us a gift. So once again, let's all stand and acknowledge the gift.
So we're just going to have another set of tribute or serenade, and then we're going to stand for the singing of the Easter hymn and the concluding rite. So hindi pa patapos ang misa, we still have the concluding rite for the Mass, and then announcement later on. So, employees,
Down, I pray, oh pretty baby, now that I found you. na ito eh. Kaya... Dapat kami may saysay. May stitch to na ito eh.